For this tutorial, I have this beautiful lace material here. I have my satin fabric and then an organza material. So these are what we need for this tutorial. Right now, I'm going to fold the material into what I need for the lower part of the dress. So I'm cutting it in a triangular form. So on fold right here, I have my fabric folded. On fold, I have 27 inches, and the other side, so I try to measure it, I have 27 inches all around. So I folded it in a triangular way, and I'm going to impute the measurement. So for the down part of the dress, the whole length of the dress is 32 inches. The half length is 12 inches, so the whole length is 32. So 12 minus 32, that will give me 20. So for my down part, I need 20 inches. Okay, so for this particular one, the satin, which will be the underlay, I'm cutting out 19 inches as a whole. That's to show that I remove 1 inch from the main length. Okay, so I'm just going to mark 26 all around as you see me do. Okay, after doing this, I'll take my scissors and then cut that out before we proceed to the waist area of the dress. So for the waist circumference is 25 inches. I included zipper to it, zipper allowance, which is 1 inch, that's 26. I then go ahead to divide it by 3.14. At the end, I have 8 inches. So right away, I'm going to mark 8 inches at the waist area so that we can get our accurate waist. Okay, so by the time I remove the 8 inches, all I had left is 19 inches, which serve as the length of the satin. Okay, so I just want to confirm that I have the accurate waist measurements needed, and after checking it, I saw that it's accurate. I also want to confirm the length of the cutout. I have 19 inches, as you can see. So I will proceed and go ahead to cut the waist area out. After I cut it out, I went ahead to do some calculation and make some marking on my cutout. I will also explain what I did here. So the whole length is 19, right? So from the waist area, I marked 7 inches, the first line. The second line to 7 inches, while what we have left as the third line to the hem of the dress, I have 5 inches. Remember, the whole length is 19 inches, so I have 775. Okay, so now for the organza, to cut the organza out, I'm starting, you see the way I place my tape rule. So the first layer from the hem that will cut out is 9 inches. How do I calculate it? See the way I place my tape rule, right? So I counted from the line down to where I want the length of the dress to be, which is 22. So after counting it out, I have 9 inches. So for that first layer, so I will have 14. I will have 9 inches, right? Okay, so I'm just going to write the 9 inches out. So the first cutout will be 9 inches. The first cutout will be 9 inches, which will serve as the first layer from the hem part of the dress. Okay, so the next one, I'm going to count it out from the other line. I counted it out, and then I have at the end, I have 14 inches. So I'm also going to write the 14 inches, right? So the second layer will be 14 inches. I'll just write it out, and then the last layer, which is from the waist, will be the 22, the whole 22 inches. So all I'm saying in essence is these are the 3 cutouts that will have 22 inches, 14 inches, which is serve as the second layer, and the last layer 9 inches. So I will just go ahead, fold my organza, and then cut all the layers out. Okay, so the first one I'll cut here is the first 22 inches from the waist area. Okay, so I'm just going to mark the 22 inches. Then the second layer of 14 inches, I'm going to mark it out and also cut it. Now the last layer is the one of 9 inches. I also mark the same and cut it. So guys, now we have all the layers cut out. We have the 9 inches, we have the 14 inches, and we have the 22 inches. The next thing I'm going to do is gather it and then start sewing it to the satin. But before we do that, we'll set that aside and then cut our upper part first. So I have folded the upper part. As you can see, the length we are working with for the upper part is 12 inches, right? The half length is 12 inches. I made the whole thing 13 inches as my length. I'm going to mark out the shoulder width, which is 12 inches divided by 2, that's 6. So I'm going to mark out 6. The armhole that we are working for, I didn't remember to tell you that I'm making this dress for a 9-year-old girl, and so I'm making use of a standard measurement. So the armhole we are using for this is 6 inches. I will mark 6 inches and then form my armhole, okay, as you can see. So the next thing I'm going to do first is mark my shoulder width before I continue to make the armhole round. Okay, so I'm going to mark my shoulder slant, okay, and then find the midpoint of that, what I have left, and then from that midpoint I'm going to come out by ½ inch. This is actually the front side of the dress, so I came out by ½ inch and then start making my armhole curve, and then I've connected it to the part of the shoulder. I'll also go to the neck area, mark 2 inches as my neck width, and then slant it by to the shoulder points where I marked out initially. Okay, so we have the arm already. Now to the chest we are working with is 28 inches divided by 4, that gives me 7 inches. I'll mark my 7 inches and then add 3 inches extra sewing allowance. Okay, so the same thing we have as the chest is what we have as our waist. Okay, so what I'm going to do, and mind you, I'm cutting 2 of these folds together. One will serve as a close to the net. Remember this, the net is open, and then the other one will serve as the lining. But before I cut that, this is my back. All I'm going to do is fold my back rightly and then place the front on it to cut it out, right? Since it's the same measurement we have for the back that we'll have for the front. The only difference is the zipper allowance, which as you can see I've added to it. Then the other thing is to make the armhole for the back. You know, the armhole for the front is actually different from the back hole. We must not make the mistake of cutting it deep like we have the front. So I'm just going to take my scissors right now and cut it out, as you can see me do. Okay, so and in cutting it too, don't forget that the armhole for the back is different from the front. So I'm going to cut the back first before cutting the front armhole. Okay, so I've cut out the front from the back from the front. I'm going to cut the shoulder slant and then cut out the armhole of the front. Now I'm trying to separate the front from the back. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to do over there. So after I separated it, I picked my scissors and then cut off the armhole of the front and also cut off the shoulder slant. Okay, so we proceed to the neck of the dress. For this, I'm making use of 2 inches width and 2 inches depth. So I'm just going to mark out the 2 inches depth, and that is for the front. I'm going to mark out the 2 inches depth for the front, and then for the back, I'm going to cut it out first and remove my front from it so that we can deal with the back accurately. So I'm going to set the front aside right away, and then we'll cut the depth of the back. For the back, I want a V shape, so I'm just going to mark 5 inches as the depth of the back and then make a V connect, as you can see. So also we must in cutting V, as you know, you mark out the zipper allowance out, then from there you make the V shape. Okay, so I'm going to cut it out, and that is that to the back of the dress. I'll also go ahead to use this cutout to cut the lace material out. So guys, I've gone ahead to cut the lace material, as you can see, and remember that we're only cutting one piece for this, and for the satin, one will serve as the lining and the other will serve as the covering for the net, and this is the crinoline that I'm going to be using for the organza. Now coming back to the down part of the dress, I've gone ahead to join the organza. I only did 2 layers so that I can explain to you how it is. You can see the way I placed my organza and then sew, right? That's the first layer, and we have the second layer. And if you observe that all the layers are covering each other, as you can see. So the next one is, the 14 inches is lapping over the first 9 inches, and this is the last layer of the 22 inches. I'll go ahead and sew it to the waist area of the skirt. Guys, after doing that, this is how it came out. Okay, so I have joined all the layers, and you can see, like I said, I'm calling your attention back to how it overlap each other. So I'll go ahead and then fix the crinoline to it. Okay guys, so this is the crinoline I'm going to fix to each layers. I deliberately make a choice of the same color of the organza. So guys, I'm just going to join it and then come back to show you how it is. I've gone ahead to fix the crinoline to it, and this is how it neatly came out, as you can see guys. Okay, so we have all the layers settled, as you can see. I'm just trying to show you the effect of the crinoline and how neatly it is fixed. I've also gone ahead to join crinoline to the satin underneath. This is just to give us that bouncy effect you saw in the picture we are working with. Okay, so we are going to set this aside and then work on our upper part. All right guys, so I've gone ahead to fix the net to the satin and then turn it with the other lining, as you can see. The armhole also is closed up because the dress will not have a sleeve. I've also gone ahead to make a dart on the dress, as you can see also. So what I'm going to do now is go ahead to fix everything together using sewing seam for the sewing, as a sewing, right? I've also made a belt, as you can see, and everything has come out beautiful. All I'm going to do now is join the upper parts to the lower parts and then fix everything together for you to see how beautiful our dress is going to be. Okay, so in fixing this, I went ahead to find the center points of each, both the upper part and the down part, and then fix it. And after fixing, guys, this is how it came out. If you have stayed to this time watching this video, it's a sign that you got value watching it. Don't hesitate to give this video a thumbs up. Share it with your friend. Like it, make comments. And if you are yet to subscribe to this channel, wait no further. Okay, so guys, all we have left is the zipper, which I've gone ahead to fix. Okay, so this is our front part, and then I'm going to turn it right away to the back for you to see how the back part also is. So you see how beautiful everything came out. Okay, so gradually we have come to the end of this tutorial. I appreciate you all for staying true. Like I said, love this video, and then see you in my next tutorial. Bye bye.